Hi Spirit Fam, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an October message for all of the Pisces out in the collective. If you are coming back to my channel, welcome back. I am so grateful to have you here and I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. I want to remind everyone that this is going to be a general reading, so it is not going to resonate with every single Pisces out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. So without further ado, Pisces, let's go ahead and dive right into your October message. Okay, Pisces, we are starting out with sense of humor. That's interesting. Let your past go and sobriety. Okay, this is interesting. Because I feel like we're getting a mix of different messages here. So we're going to start right here at the center, which is going to be the heart of your reading here, Pisces. So let your past go. So this is really wanting to bring to your attention here, Pisces, that the burden of carting around your past has made you very weary. It could be that maybe you're very worried or you're very concerned. And I feel that your guides are really wanting you to know that it's time to set this burden down. You only need to keep with you the lessons, the love, and leave everything else behind that you learned from the things in your past. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. So here's the thing. I feel that a lot of times when we go through certain challenging experiences or we go through certain obstacles and we sort of fall into this belief that we have made mistakes, right? And so we start to really lay all of these burdens on ourselves. We carry guilt, we carry shame, we carry regret, we carry so many different things in our lives that all of these burdens tend to weigh us down and we end up feeling not so great about ourselves. And this is your angels and guides' way of letting you know that you need to let all of that go. You need to put it all aside, stop carrying that cross, stop carrying that burden. Because it isn't helping you in any way. If anything, it's making things more challenging for you, and you're the only one that keeps bringing it up to yourself. They are not going to sit here and throw in your face all of the mistakes that you've ever made. I think there's a very big misconception with that, Pisces, and I want to say this very loud and clear. God and your angels and your guides are never going to throw in your face your past mistakes. What is done. You can't go back and you can't change it. You can only move forward, but it's really about you letting go, detaching yourself from what transpired in the past, forgiving yourself and just moving forward. Okay. And I feel this is the reason why they have this sense of humor that sort of came up, because what it's letting you know is that, when you experience certain things in your life that challenge you or that frustrate you or that anger you, you're needing to see the lighter side of that situation. You're needing to see it from a lighthearted perspective, right? They're wanting you to see it and just sort of laugh at yourself. Don't burden yourself even more. Don't yell at yourself. Don't be angry at yourself. Just laugh at yourself a little more, because it is part of your human nature to either respond or react in the way that you do. It doesn't make you a bad person. You have to just sort of realize this, like all of the burden and the worry and the disappointment that you carry is self-inflicted. You're putting it on yourself. Your guides and your angels and God are not inflicting that upon you. You're inflicting it upon yourself here, Pisces. So they're wanting you to to be a little bit more loving towards yourself. Laugh at the things that go wrong instead of looking at it from a perspective of, great, what else? Or looking at it from a perspective of why does everything always, go wrong for me? You have to just laugh at those things, and just be a lot kinder to yourself. Now, this is interesting that sobriety came up, because I do feel that for some of you, it could be that some of you are dealing with this particular issue. Maybe some of you are trying to stay sober, whether that be, detoxing from drugs or from alcohol or whatever it might be. But I want to make something very clear here. When someone is self-inflicting harm on themselves, whether that's emotionally, verbally, mentally, physically, in the form of drugs or alcohol, food, anything, you are still trying to heal yourself and detoxify yourself from those patterns, those habits, those behaviors, okay? And understand that, sometimes if you fall back into old patterns, old behaviors, it is okay. It is part of nature. It is normal for you to have cravings. It is normal for you to respond or react in that way. What's not normal is for you to beat yourself up over it. Recognize that things take time. It takes commitment, dedication. It takes consistency, awareness. It takes all of those things in order for you to fully, completely detach yourself from something that is like second nature to you. And I feel that what you need to do is really allow yourself to just focus on things one day at a time, right? If you fall back into an old pattern or an old habit, it's okay. As long as you are aware and you are aware of what triggered it, how it happened, how do we go about fixing that? How do we go about, releasing that and then moving forward so that we could start over again on day one? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into your tarot here, Pisces, because this is very interesting that it came out this way, because I wouldn't have expected this message to come out exactly this way. But, there's a reason. So our first card here is the Queen of Raphael, which is the Queen of Cups. And this is all about following your heart. This is about recognizing that you are an emotional being who is very deeply connected to not only your experiences, to the people around you, but also to your own inner cravings and desires and your own intuition, right? So it's really about you learning to understand yourself, learning to understand how you get triggered, when certain things like this happen, how do you respond? What's the best course of action? This is really about understanding your ins and your outs. Okay. And it's about following your gut, following your heart, following your gut instincts. Now, the Three of Raphael is the Three of Cups. So I feel that if you are currently struggling, if you are struggling with trying, with the sobriety thing, maybe this is where you need to find a community of individuals who are going through the same thing that can ultimately help you in this perspective, because they have the same kind of understanding. They're dealing with the same kind of thing, and they're able, where you all are able to come together as a supporting community to help each other in that aspect. And I really feel this is going to be very important for you. At the heart of your reading here, Pisces, we have the Five of Michael. Now, the Five of Michael is the Five of Swords. And it's very interesting because the one thing I often associate with the Five of Swords is this ability that the only reason why you feel that you cannot change is because you're very afraid of the outcome. Okay. Now, I feel that your guides and your angels are really wanting you to know that The current situation that you're in is not serving you. You know that wholeheartedly, that it's not serving you. And you have to release yourself from the attachment of the outcome. Now, remember, I said you're afraid of the outcome. You're afraid of what things are going to look like because this is all you've ever really truly known. But you have to release yourself from that outcome and just allow things to unfold naturally and organically the way that they are meant to. And this is really about you being willing to consider a different alternative than what you are currently experiencing. But you have to be willing to let go of the current situation that you're in order to experience something different. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I want you to understand that it is natural for you to want to stay where you are because it's your comfort zone. It's what feels right. It's what feels comfortable to you. But you know that it isn't serving you. It isn't helping you in any way. Next, we have the Four of Michael. So this is about insights that come from quiet meditation and the need for some sleep and some rest. So the Four of Michael is the Four of Swords. And I feel that, maybe there might be moments where you're in a quiet space, where you're not really fighting your inner demons, or you're not really arguing with yourself in any way. And there might be moments where you really think to yourself, man, my life could be so much more different if I could just change my ways, right? In those moments when your mind is at rest and you're not really, fighting with yourself, or you're not fighting any urges or anything like that, that is a really good time for you to just allow yourself to truly reflect at where you are. Now, I say that because in those moments of reflection is ultimately when you can decide, when you can make a choice, when you can choose to leave the situation that you're in. This is really about, breaking out of a cycle, breaking out of a chain, and releasing yourself to a form of freedom, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it might be. This is where you have to make a very courageous choice to change your situation. And the only way that you can change your situation is by giving yourself permission to change the situation that you're in. Your life can be so much more different, but understanding that you have to be more loving, more caring, more nurturing to yourself. Ignoring yourself, not being aware of how things are and just trying to pretend that it doesn't exist or that there's no problem doesn't solve the situation here, Pisces. If anything, it just makes it a lot more difficult for you to get out of the situation that you're in. The second thing is that you need to really find a community, a supportive community that is going through the same things that you are going through, that is dealing with the same types of challenges that you are, that can ultimately help you. It will be uplifting. You can be supportive to one another. And I feel that it'll actually be a lot more beneficial for you here, Pisces, because it will actually help you make the necessary changes that you need in order to have the life that you ultimately desire and that you reflect upon in those moments of rest. So Pisces, I really feel that your last card here, this Eight of Michael, says you can be free. You can be free of the situation that you are in, but it's really about making a courageous choice to change your situation. And I feel that's because you're not willing to see things very clearly. It's sort of like you're glossing over all of the things that are currently going on in your life, and you're only seeing bits and pieces. So in order for you to make significant change, you have to be willing to see things as they are and face them head on. So Pisces, this is going to be your message this month. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.